Give me one sec. Yes, you can hear me. Good. Sorry, I just have to tab out to make sure the thing is muted. Because I'm never sure if it is or isn't. So, anyway. We'll do the Seraph ending now. There's actually one point I was going to make, but I don't remember what it was now. So, let's just move on.
Hello,
Come on. Oh yeah, the sequel, it picks up, I think people were saying it's like a selection of the endings, like it may pick like this ending and that ending over there or something. Like it's a combination, it's not just one. But what I do know is I vaguely remember seeing Jensen floating in water, which is what happens at the end of that ending. You know, everyone drowns. Yeah, he's in water, so at least that ending is certainly part of the next game. Okay, Seraphs.
If you do this, the focus of hatred may shift to those responsible for unleashing biological warfare, leaving corporations free to experiment with human evolution. Are you sure this is your choice? So be it then.
Seraph was right about one thing. It's in our nature to want to rise above our limits. Think about it. We were cold, so we harnessed fire. We were weak, so we invented tools. Every time we met an obstacle, we used creativity and ingenuity to overcome it. The cycle is inevitable. But will the outcome always be good? I guess that will depend on how we approach it. These past few months, I was challenged many times. But more often than not, didn't I try to keep morality in mind, knowing that my actions didn't have to harm others? Time and time again, didn't I resist the urge to abuse power and resources simply to achieve my goals more swiftly? In the past, we've had to compensate for weaknesses, finding quick solutions that only benefit a few. But what if we never need to feel weak or morally conflicted again? What if the path Seraph wants us to take enables us to hold on to higher values with more stability? One thing is obvious. For the first time in history, we have a chance to steal fire from the gods. To turn away from it now, to stop pursuing a future in which technology and biology combine, leading to the promise of a singularity, would mean to deny the very essence of who we are. No doubt the road to get there will be bumpy, hurting some people along the way. But won't achieving the dream be worth it? We can become the gods we've always been striving to be. We might as well get good at it.
Hey folks, so there's the second ending. Apparently the company did actually regret just making all the endings, you press a button and that's it. So here's hoping in Mankind Divided that won't be the case. Well, it certainly is nice from a my standpoint of you just reload and you can go and choose the other endings. Like you aren't like locked into one. It's nice because then I can show you all of the endings. It's nice from that standpoint, but from a other standpoint, it's kind of weird. It's kind of strange. So we'll see, you know, what the code is like when we get to it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea when I'll be getting to it. Like, I don't plan on getting to it for like till like 2018, just to make sure all the DLC is out. If there's a director's cut, you know, I'll give it a chance to come out, kind of thing. You know, make sure the game's done before I start doing a playthrough of it. But considering the rate I'm uploading, like, this has 2018 covered pretty much. This will take up most of 2018. Then my Serious Sam stuff will finish off the rest. and I'm like dealing with 2019 now, and I'll be uploading one episode a day from then on. The moment we take over to 2019. So, like, I could be dealing with Mankind Divided, not in 2016. Well, actually showing it to you, not in 2016, not in 2017, not in 2018, not in 2019, but 2020 or later. Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't seem right. It's unnerving. I get scared that YouTube is going to go down long before I'll be able to do this. Oh, you know, like, all I've ever uploaded and YouTube will go down and I'll lose everything, you know? It's one fear I'm getting. Because I don't have any of these stored, so I couldn't just start it again elsewhere on a different site kind of thing, you know? So yeah, meh. Still, there's a panic for another day. Let's continue. Yeah, wished. I've heard this already. This is cool. It's like a city down there. It's like buildings and all that. It's cool. Anyway, muting myself now.
If you do this, first-hand experience with corporate negligence on such a grand scale may convince mankind to enact harsh restrictions on human enhancement research. Are you sure this is your choice? So be it then.
Freedom. To those who don't have it, it's more valuable than gold. But where should it start and end? We humans often think we have the right to expand, absorb, convert, or possess anything we need to reach our dreams. But time and time again, hasn't this led to conflicts with others who essentially believe the same thing? Looking back on the challenges I faced, at the way I often resolve them, I realize morality can become our saving grace. Most of the time, didn't I try to keep my values in mind, knowing how my actions would affect others? More often than not, I resisted the urge to abuse power and resources simply to reach my goals more swiftly. I managed to hang on to my humanity. But the temptation to ignore it was always there. It's that temptation that so worries Taggart. He's not afraid of freedom. He's afraid of the chaos that erupts when individuals have nothing but morality to constrain them. He wants us to regulate enhancement technologies because he fears all that power without limits, without guide rails to keep us from abusing it. Absolute freedom is no better than chaos. Society needs laws and regulations to protect it. So if the men and women behind Taggart need to work in the shadows, pulling strings to enable us to head in a safe direction, will supporting them be all that bad? If they're as wise as Taggart says, how bad will their leadership be? I just hope they stand by what they say.
Christ. Oh. Sorry, folks. Give me a moment. Hey, folks, and I'm back. Sorry about that. Just tickle my throat. Got a bit much. Everything's fine down there. The mic's working. That's working, and I'm recording. Good. Just pausing, it always throws me off, you know? Get worried. I've so many times I've paused recordings and think I've started them again, and I haven't. So, yeah. I was going to say something there, but that coughing fit has thrown my mind off. Actually, I think what I was going to say was, the game actually does bring up some good points in its own way, and I've no actually idea, what my opinion on them is.
Hello.
I'm not really a fan of the Illuminati, them controlling everything from the shadows, manipulating people, denying them choice, and all that. Certainly, I do agree that society needs, things to protect it, but I'm not a fan of this kind of thing, their kind of shtick. Not the biggest fan of it. So yeah, it's like I can see where he's saying about control and just so people can go on killing sprees and shit like that. Not and beyond that, if let's say he's been honest, we've no reason to believe him, but let's just say he is. Like yeah, I like fair enough, I get you, but. And it's certainly easier for someone who's augmented to go on a killing spree than anyone else. Well, certainly an average human could grab a gun. The augmented persons, they can work very well with their hands. If they got augmented arms or legs, they could easily, say, break the wall or whatever, They're a bit burlier. Certainly, maybe a human could do that. Bodybuilder with a weapon. But, augmented people, depending on their augs, can be quite damn deadly. Far beyond what an average human could pull off, or even an exceptional human. So yeah, I can see where he's going with there, but I'm not really sure if their whole thing of how to do it is really the best solution. Because again, it's denying people choice and freedom, and it's shitting on other things, So they have a point, but they are also fucking up in their own way. So yeah. Anyway, self-destruction, the best way to go.
If you do this, the world will be left with questions and may never reach a consensus. Are you sure this is your choice? We have little time left, Adam. And might I say, it has been a pleasure.
Do I trust mankind to save itself? That's what Eliza was asking. The truth is, I don't know. After everything I've seen, all the fighting and the chaos around me, I only know what I want to believe. Somehow, human decency will triumph. These past few months, I've faced many life-threatening situations. I could have given up many times, but my need to know the truth, to uncover the secrets that others were hiding, and to survive, forced me to keep on going. Most of the time, I tried to keep my values in mind, knowing my actions did not have to harm others. I held on to my humanity, resisting the urge to abuse power or resources in order to meet my goals. And in the end, I got the job done. But does this mean I have the right to choose for everyone? No. Because it isn't up to me. It isn't up to Darrow, Sarif, or Taggart either. Ordinary men and women will have to decide together what course mankind should take. The kind of people who time and time again have picked and chosen the future in highly practical ways, slowing change when it's negative, speeding it up when it's good. Can they do it again? I don't know. But I do know I'm not about to let anyone in this station, myself included, stand in their way.
Hey folks, Oh, God damn it. Trying not to sneeze here. I actually noticed there, on the last ending, with the Illuminati one, sorry, not that ending, but the one before it with the Illuminati, there was an English politician near the end, and I swear they had those little triangles that appeared at the end of that one, also there when he was talking. At least that's what it looked like. But anyway, I really enjoyed this game. Well, certainly I got a bit grumpy with it, having replayed bits of it because I missed the thing. But I did enjoy it. It's a good game. Certainly the bosses were a bit janky. But from all I hear, the bosses originally were as the way they were because the people that were doing it didn't know what the hell Deus Ex was. I'm not kidding. They never heard of Deus Ex before. And so they thought it was another type of shooter. And so they built one like that. Rather than the kind of game, the shooter it is. At least that's what I remember hearing. So the director's cut tried to fix it up a bit, but they didn't change things as greatly as they could have. I don't know how much that original story is, how true it is. You know, that they didn't actually know what kind of game they're making it for. You think that would be one of the first things they'll check, but shit can happen, you know? You think people will do things a certain way, but doesn't necessarily mean they will. So, yeah. But yeah, all in all, I do really enjoy this game. I do love it, and I am looking forward to the sequel. Like I was saying earlier, my concerns always end up going back to when will it actually be released? Because right now I'm thinking 2020, 2021. Years down the line. I'm already leaving it a fair bit to make sure that, you know, the DLC comes out so I don't have to play it multiple times. I just want to play it once and really enjoy it, you know? Because playing the game multiple times, I find almost takes away from it. Depends on the game. But I don't just love it as much. So, that's just me for you. So, yeah. So I just want to play it all in one fell swoop and do it that way. So I'll be waiting ages. And then by the time it's released, it's going to be 2022 or whatever. I suppose I could stop recording other things for this category, but it's nerve-wracking, and it's also certainly possible for me to say adjust everything that's after being uploaded, like Red Faction 1, 2, Serious Sam 3, everything, and have them uploading one a day instead of what I'm currently doing. But I'm kind of obsessive. Like I have a certain schedule in mind for a certain series. I want to stick to that schedule. For the next series I can adjust it, but I won't adjust it for this one. Like I won't upload one of these every day. At least I don't think I will. I'm actually tempted towards that idea now. But yeah. But yeah, that's just my one thing I'm thinking of right now. I'm actually following Elias there on Twitter. He's a cool guy. I actually saw one of his other works. Interview with one of the other things he did. Interview with a time traveler. It was interesting. Looking forward to doing the other, like I was saying, looking forward to doing the Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Also looking forward to actually doing the other thing Elias worked on that I know of. Far Cry Primal. I'm sure I'll get around to doing that at some stage. I have plenty of games on the list to get around to. So, I'm sure I'll get around to that one at some stage. And probably the rest of the Far Cry's while I'm at it. So, yeah. Also plan on getting around to all the Dead Spaces, the Deus Exes, Serious Sam's. I've got Serious Sam 3 done, as you've seen. I've also done this